You self-sabotaging is literally costing you your dream life, okay? And I'm not just gonna tell you to love yourself, because here's the thing. I love myself, and I just spent 2 weeks in self-sabotage. 2 weeks being in this rut where I felt so off, so out of myself, and any advice to just love yourself or any of that, no, that didn't help me. Self-sabotage is so tricky, okay, because it's a pattern that will keep presenting itself in sneaky little ways. It often is lingering around in hidden beliefs, in ways of being, in thoughts you have that are just buried inside of you, and they don't ever get presented to you until you're challenged with it. If you are currently self-sabotaging, you need to actually realize that this is a good thing. This is a good thing for you to cultivate awareness and the consciousness to be able to recognize that these patterns, this self-sabotaging, it is coming up for healing. Why? Because you right now are ready. You are ready to step into that next level version of yourself. And your new life is going to cost you your old one. Your highest self, the person that you want to be, is going to cost you your old identity. So for me, I've been in this phase of really aligning to this next level version of myself, to who I want to be. So as I continue to align more and more, I continue to embody and really become her, all of a sudden, I had so much revealed to me. I had all of these old patterns, old ways of being just hit me. It hit me so hard. The universe here was like, girl, you gotta release these if you want to step into that next level version. Because I knew that all of those limitations, all of those habits and ways of being were of the old identity. Yet I was still so clinging on to it. So because I was clinging on to it, the universe had to just shake me up a little bit. I'm coming at you with this fresh new energy. Like, you guys, I am back post-eclipse energy. And okay, let me just also say that there's been so much going on in astrology. This is actually quite literally the time that a lot of old patterns and old ways of being are being presented to you, are coming up for healing. But that is the very first thing you need to recognize, okay, is that this is coming up for your greatest good. This is coming up to be healed, because we are put on this earth to learn lessons, to grow, to go through different challenges. And what I've had to realize is that if everything was easy, we would never grow. Yes, life does get to be full of ease and flow and all of that. Like, I'm such a big believer in that. But girl, I had to wake the fuck up to some reality, to be like, life also is about the challenge, and it's also about sitting in the discomfort, because it's through that we actually grow. Okay, so recognize this is coming up for your healing, for your greatest good. Now, it's important to not spiritual bypass. It's important to not jump over the work that is going to be required of you. Meaning, it's easy to just be like, oh, I just trust everything's okay, the universe has it all figured out for me, but then you take no action. All of this is coming up to be healed, but you gotta actually do the work. So step 2 is identify what you are doing to self-sabotage. A lot of times we can tell when we're feeling off. We know when we're in a rut. We know when things just we're not doing good. A lot of times we actually know too, deep down, what we're really doing, but we're not even admitting it to ourselves. How are you self-sabotaging? What are the ways that you are self-sabotaging? You need to identify it, because when you identify it, you can start to do the healing work and really get to the root of why. Because the thing about self-sabotage, like I said, it's usually this thing that lingers inside of us and is in us until it's being challenged, until something happens where it says hello. What I really found for myself is that the self-sabotaging habits, patterns, all of that has come up in different ways throughout the years. It doesn't always look the exact same, but underlying the theme is the same. So usually with self-sabotage, there is an underlying theme, therefore pointing you to the belief, the limitation, whatever actually needs to be healed. But it all starts with first simply identifying. Once you identify what you're doing, you need to take a real look at the thoughts you are telling yourself, because how you think determines your reality. Your core beliefs, whatever you're telling yourself, that is what will be reflected to you in your external world. How you're speaking to yourself, well, that affects your confidence, it affects how you're showing up, it affects how you feel, which in return affects everything else, right? It affects your productivity, what you're doing. If you don't feel good about yourself, if you don't feel good about life, if you're in a rut, you need to go to your thoughts. What are you telling yourself? What are the beliefs you have? So when I was in this rut, the very last day, actually, I was like, I'm just gonna write out every single limiting, negative, false belief that comes in my mind. And I did. I had a huge note of all of these beliefs that I was just so clinging on to, because the thing about self-sabotage is our egos will trick us into thinking that it's actually serving us. Self-sabotage is really just our egos trying to keep us safe. It's a way that our egos try to protect us, but it's not serving us, which is why we need to be aware and release it. I wrote out every single limiting belief I had that day, and going through it, I was like, wow. And then I had to ask myself, do I want to believe this? Like, this is actually crazy. Step 3, make that decision. Because here's the thing, you will not be able to stop self-sabotaging if you are not truly willing. If you are not truly willing to stop. Yeah, that may sound basic. It may sound like, yeah, I'm willing. But when I was honest with myself, I was not willing. I'm talking about like, guys, I've been thriving and vibing. I've been like on my shit. I've been embodied. I've been feeling so good for so long. And then I spiraled into a little mini rut. How did I actually make that switch to become willing? I had to really realize there is more to life. There is more to life than this, and my dreams are possible. Your dreams are possible. That dream version of yourself, that dream life that you want, that is possible for you. Only if you let go of the self-sabotage. Only if you let go of those false beliefs. It's all about starting with the willingness. Are you genuinely willing? Because when you're truly willing, you actually want to let it go, you will start to integrate step 5. Step 5 is to sit in the discomfort. In order to break a habit, in order to change your beliefs, in order to take a different action, to do something different, and if you want to get somewhere else, you have to be someone different. You have to do something different. So that's going to be quite uncomfortable. That was a wake-up call for me. When I was younger, I was trying to learn how to do a cartwheel. When I didn't get it in the very first try, I was so upset and I wanted to give up. That is an act of self-sabotaging. What I've realized is that in order to grow, in order to heal and up level, it's going to require you to work through the discomfort. And when you're actually doing something different, when you're making a new routine, a new habit, a new pattern, you're trying to break out of something, it's going to be uncomfortable. Wish that I knew that sooner, to expect the discomfort, because it is so easy to be in that discomfort and to be so uncomfortable that you just stop. But that is self-sabotaging, and you're so close. But you will learn so much about yourself. You will grow so much through that discomfort. And really, if we're not growing as humans, if we're not experiencing that, then we're staying stuck and stagnant. And if you go out in nature and look at a tree that is just stagnant, it's withering away and dying. So as humans, we have a natural need for growth, for evolution, and to expand. This step is all about challenging yourself, challenging that belief. Being truly willing means that you're looking at all those limitations, you're looking at all the ways you self-sabotage, and you are asking yourself, am I ready to challenge this? Am I actually going to do this? Because here's the thing, Like I said, 2 weeks I was in that rut. Each day I would be like, yeah, well, not each day. Some days I would be like, tomorrow I'm going to just snap out and feel better and change. And then that day would come around and I would make the same exact choice that I did the day before, therefore staying in my rut, therefore staying in that same mindset and the same beliefs. Let me tell you how everything is about mindset and connection with yourself. Step 6, create a self-connection. What are you doing to support yourself? It's all about coming back into your breath, coming back into your body, asking yourself, getting real with yourself, being honest with yourself. What do I need? How can I support myself right now? Maybe that's going on a walk, maybe that's journaling, maybe that's doing a meditation, whatever you can do to shake off energy. If you have just been in your room all day doing nothing, then I definitely say go outside, get sunlight, get real dopamine sources, get off your phone and come into yourself, okay? Step 7 is to get off your phone, stop scrolling on social media, and to ask yourself or look at your vision board, what do I want for my life? What do I want for my life? And is this self-sabotaging? Are these patterns? Is this way of being? Is this what I want? Is this worth it? Would I rather stay stuck, stay where I am right now, or would I rather be living out my dreams? It's a choice. You can choose. And no, it's not as simple as just choosing and deciding, because I fell into that trap of being like, oh, I've decided I get to have my dreams. Yay! No. You gotta actually take the action. And as I was starting to take more and more action, guess what happened? All of these old patterns, these old ways of being were suddenly revealed to me. I had to really look at that like, whoa, I need to challenge these. I need to change these if I really want to live this dream life, if I really want to up level. Am I actually willing? It was so uncomfortable that it sent me into a moment of feeling really off, feeling really upset and just not myself. I really realized that, you know what? It's going to require me to sit in the discomfort, work through it, to actually do the work to change my beliefs. I'm like, Bella, take your own advice. Change your beliefs. You need to actually take different actions. You need to expect that it's going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to want to do it. Your mind is going to try to come up with all these excuses to just do it tomorrow, or that it's not worth it. But I'm telling you, self-sabotage is getting in the way of your dream life. I've lost count of the numbers. I think I'm on 7. Find the joy and the passion in the little things. The little things. Find the gratitude. Gratitude, it changes your life, and it's something that it's so easy to do when things are going well, right? It's really easy for me to be really grateful and just in this good energy when I'm feeling good, when all of the old patterns of mine aren't being challenged or triggered. But it's actually in those times that gratitude is so much more important. And I had to seriously be like, Bella, you right now, you right there, are way too pretty. You have way too much potential. You are way too incredible to be staying stuck. That is the wake-up call I had to give myself. Look around. You know what? Even if I can just be grateful for the fact that I am breathing, that I have water and food, and I have access to beautiful nature, like, it's in the little things. That starts to shift your energy. It starts to help put things into perspective, because so many times when we're stuck in a rut, in self-sabotage, we are just too locked into our own bubble, too locked into our own mind. We need to get out into the world. We need to experience that there is life to be lived, and everything that you want, it's possible for you. Self-sabotage ends right now. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You can do it. This really just came through strong and fresh right now. I'm telling you, I'm like fresh out of this weird funk I was in, new energy, post-eclipse. Like, if you're seeing this right now, if you've watched this, if you've gotten to this point, so much good energy for you. You are meant to hear this for a reason. I'll see you guys next week. Mwah.